card delivery portion of Blackjack. There's a couple bets out here, but I'm going to deliver to all 7 spots just so you can see what the full layout would look like. They got the shoe over here. Now when you pull the card out, you always have to pull it out with your left hand. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick it up, and if you're dealing to the first spot, it goes right there. Okay? Everything in the first spot is with the left hand. Every spot after that, you got to go from the left to the right. Now you're going to say, well, I don't want to reach way over there. Well, that's why you watch your game. Just kind of take a little step over here. That first trick goes there. Next card there. And I'm not doing this fast because I want you to get the proper placement. Okay, now we got each player their first card out. And you want it somewhere in the vicinity here of the bottom of the betting circle. Now my card placement was not the neatest in the world. Okay, next card, dealer's card, stays face down, bring it right to the middle. Okay, that's eventually going to be your up card. Yes, it is, because it's been a change. Don't shake your head. This guy's shaking his head over here. Oh, no, 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 that's not the way we do it. It is now. Live with it. Okay, now the next card comes out. Same thing, left hand right there is going to cover the bottom left quarter of the card. When I get over here to a card that actually has pips on it, you're going to see that we keep that middle row of pips at least half uncovered. Why? Because just like the floor supervisors reading the checks from a distance, now they can read the cards from the distance by the shape of the pips. They don't care about the number. Nobody's going to be able to see that from there into the pit. But you can tell that's a 9 as opposed to a 10 from a good distance away just by the shape of the pips. So that's why we leave half uncovered like that. So let's keep on going. Quarter, quarter. I'm going to go slow because I am not a good blackjack dealer. Now the next card comes out. I'm suggesting that you keep your fingers on this card to protect it from this one. And we flip this card over like we're opening a book. Now, all kinds of people are shaking their head. This is why we're doing it. We're going to have a side bet with the game called 21 plus 3. The side bet's going to depend upon, side bet, not side butt, side bet is going to depend, yeah, keep laughing, you who shook the camera. The side bet's going to depend upon the player's cards and the dealer's up card. And it's going to pay on like a 3-card poker bonus table. So that's the reason this card is staying face down, and I'm keeping this hand here. I want to protect from a dealer getting really excited, accidentally pushing that into there, and now we don't know which card is which. I know that the card my fingers are on is supposed to be the down card, and that this is supposed to be the eventual up card. Can you imagine the hassle we'd have? Let's see if I can set one of these things up. Here we go. Let's move some of these cards around. This is the down card. This is supposed to be our up card. That's going to give them a straight flush. Okay, what if I go to turn this over, that hand's not there, and whoops, and now I'm not sure which one is the up card. And somebody says, oh, that's supposed to be the up card. Then later on when we expose it, that's the up card, and this player falls out of their chair because they say, well, that was supposed to have been the up card, and now there's a big mess. So to prevent all that from happening, that first card comes out, we leave it face down. When the second card comes out, just keep a couple fingers on it until this card has been exposed. Now square them up, and we're all set to go. Now I'm going to move some cards around just to create some different situations. Let me get some stuff to work with out of the shoe here. Here we got a 3-up. Nothing big, no big deal. We have a 2 through 9 up. We're just going to go right in to the hit phase, or hit, stay, whatever, so on and so forth. Let's say that we have a 10 value. And I say 10 value, not just 10, because Queen's a 10 value card, Jack's a 10 value card, so is a King, so is a 10. Let's say that's our up card. Okay, now we need to use this fancy orange thingamajig here. We call it a peeker. It's made by a company called Tech Art, and that'll be important in just a few seconds. So, if we want to check a 10, we need to take and slide both these cards as one unit, both the up card and the down card, into this little slot right here. There's a slot just big enough to accommodate the corner of a card. And there's a prism here that allows us to look down, and it'll tell us if there's an ace under there. Now I told you that the name Tech Art was going to be important later on. The reason it is because on the ace, you'll see there's a little circular logo on each side. And it says TA. So that's the Tech Art logo. So if we and put the ace underneath, look in here, and we see that little circle, we know it's an ace. In which case we'd announce the dealer has blackjack, come out, expose the card, then take or pay accordingly. Let's say things are switched around the other way, and the ace is up. Now we're going to have to do what's called offer insurance. As soon as we get our card face up, we see it's an ace, we're going to turn it horizontal, we're going to offer insurance. You do this, insurance is open, now you give your players a few moments to decide if they want insurance, how much they want to bet. Insurance can be no more than 1/2 of their original bet. The original bet being the amount that's in the betting area. So this fellow right here he's got $20 there. He can insure that for no more than 10. He can insure it for any amount up to $10, any whole dollar amount, but he can't take more than $10 as in insurance. So the players have had a chance to decide if they want insurance. Now you bring the hand back, insurance is closed. Same thing as with the 10. We're going to slide this under here, look into the peeker. If we see part of a 10 value logo, we know it's a blackjack. If we don't, it isn't. In this case, there's no blackjack. No blackjack, this comes back out, we turn it back straight up and down, and we go take and pay, or I'm sorry, hit the hands as normal. Now you're probably saying, well, how do you know if it's 10 under there? What if it's a 3 or a 6? Aren't you going to see that? Well, you're not, actually, because look at this. There's a 3, there's a 6, there's a 9, here's a 10 value card. See how the indicator is a little bit higher? That kind of helps it stand out a bit there. The much lower, you'll see this blank area of the card through the reader, whereas if it's a 10 value card, all the 10s, jacks, kings, and queens are pushed up like that, you'll see about half the letter in there. That's how you'll know. So there should be no chance of missing or mistaking that for a blackjack. If it's a blackjack, you got 10 underneath. Same as before, you'll announce dealer has blackjack, turn the card over, and go right into the take and pay. And that's the basic card delivery. So here we are, we went through the whole card delivery sequence, and we got a 3 of. Nothing special, this is probably going to be about 90% of your hands. Nice simple hand. Start over here. Remember, you always have to get a hand signal from the player as to whether or not they want to hit or stand. And always announce the total. So we go to the first hand, left hand, so you have 15. He waves off, that means stay. Go to the next hand, sir, 20, waves off to stay. So you have 11. Now he's going to make a move what's called doubling down. Now from your perspective, from the dealer's perspective, the double down amount is always going to go to the right. That's why it's put over there. Now the player gets one more card, one card only, and it's laid perpendicular. 21, very nice hit, sir. That's the double down. 16, stays. We have a 6 here, taps the table to signal a hit. So you have 14. He's going to stay with 14. Now notice, every subsequent card past the first 2 is placed just like the second one. You're going to cover that bottom quarter when it's possible. Now if we start to get a whole jumble of cards, it's perfectly acceptable to take the whole hand and move it up just a little bit. Okay? You can do that to get the cards out of the way. You'll do that a lot back over at this first spot. That's usually where you get jammed up sometime. If this guy takes 2 or 3 hits, now it's in the way of your shoe. So you can take the whole thing, just move it up to the side. There's nothing wrong with that. Now we come over to here. We have a pair of 6s. Now our player is indicating a split. There's a hand signal for split. That's a common hand signal. It means the player wants 2 hands. So we're going to take these. Now, some places set them up like that. Some places leave 1 in the circle, 1 on the outside. Myself, I prefer that because it shows me it's actually 2 bets. And then we split the cards. Now we'll move this hand a little bit to the right to get it out of the way. Now we treat these as 2 separate hands. We're going to act on the first one. We bring out the second card. Now we stop and announce the total. So you have 15. He indicates he wants to stay. Only after we've resolved this hand do we go on to the next one. Bring out the second card. So you also have 15. And he wants to stay there. 16 over here on spot 7 and stay. Now, let's say he had drawn another 6 here. He could split the hand again. Let me see if I can find some 6s near the top of the deck to show you how we'd handle this. Let's say instead of 15, he drew that. He can go ahead and split this hand again. We're going to go ahead and slide this over a bit just to get it out of the way. And you have to make room as best you can. Now he's going to have to put another $10 out there. We'll get him $10 off his stack. There you go, sir. He'll slide that out there. Now the rules kind of go out the window. You just kind of got to make room for all of them. Then that 6 goes off to the side. You can see things are going to get a little bit crowded. That's okay. Now again, we go to the current hand, pull the next card. All right, so you have 16. He waves off on that. 6. Now he drew a 4th 6. Now he can split one more time for a total of 4 hands. You can split 3 times for a total of 4 hands. Now it's really going to get crowded. We're going to move that over. So you need to place $10 more out there, please. There we go. And we slide that over. Move that hand over. At this point, you simply do what you can. Some places allow you to stagger the hands down like this. That's not a bad idea because none of the cards overlap. Whatever works. So we'll go to this hand. You have 16. Waves off this hand. 16. You got 16s all around. Over here, 16, fine. Now, once all that's said and done, we're going to go to our hand. Turn that down card up. You always announce your total. Dealer has 13. Dealer has 15. Any card you draw to hit your hand always goes to the right side of the previous cards. Dealer has too many. I went over 21. Everybody wins. So we start over here. Sizing for even money. Now with all these, you simply do the best you can. One thing you cannot do, you cannot total these. You cannot come out, cut out, whoops, that's $30. You could not cut out $40 and heal that. You may not do that. What you have to do is size into all of them. And again, do the best you can. Normally you would not size in front to back, but here you really don't have a choice because you have to pay each hand individually. Going over here, we'll size in there. Let's come back, reload with some more red. Now you notice since these are all single color bets, we can just take a stack and start sizing in until we get over to here. We want to pay these 2 with the left hand. It's a game protection issue because we don't want to be reaching way over here. So we'll size in. Now we're over to our double down. Here, it's perfectly acceptable just to size in twice on the end. We don't have to size into each of these individually because this is just one hand. Now let's say, for example, that the bet was originally $60. It was a multicolored bet. Player comes out, puts his double down amount down there, now he wins. Just like any other multicolored bet, we're going to go ahead and break it down, cut the payoff out in our working area, total of 120, stack it up, and we're going to heal it off. Multicolored bets are the same, and if the same thing had happened over here with the pairs, we break them down, cut the payoff out, heal it off. Now we get over to here, we want to pay these 2 with the left hand. If you have checks in your right hand, remember you can't go hand to hand. Sit these down, pick them up with the right hand, or I'm sorry, the left hand. Since you're using the left hand, you can do all your work on the left side now. Size in there, checks for the left hand. If they're still here, we have to put them in the left side. If we want them in the right side, we have to go through our working area. And now we're done with the payoff. Now we have to pick all this up. Grab the rightmost card in the dealer's hand, scoop all these up. Now we're going to go from right to left, scooping each hand individually. It's okay to use your left hand to kind of push them up. For those pairs, I mean, we really got to work. It's a big mess over there, but that's okay. The reason you want to keep all these hands separate is in case we ever have to reconstruct something. We can come out here, we know the first hand is the dealer's hand. Our hand right there, and then everything starts over here. That way if your floor person needs to reconstruct a mistake, they're able to do it. And that's why we scoop the cards up the way we do.